Live from our Park Studios, this is Steve Sporty Balls. And now, why on the weekends does the flu hurt so bad? There he is, Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Hi there. Welcome and thank you, everyone. Stuttgart. Excuse me, I'm having dessert. Mm, tart cherries. Not bad. Welcome to day 3 of Flu Hell. Yes. Uh, Before I begin this little show, I got to do a little something. Flonase time, so excuse me for a moment. Okay. Wow. Ah, there we go. Flonase. Doing okay. Mm, cherries taste good. Anyway, uh, yeah. How you doing, Deborah? Anyway, let's get with it here. We got report on, of course, the NHL. Of course, we got the NBA All Star Weekend. We've also got some basketball, some golf, everything. And it's all an hour without commercials and a lot of fun. So let's get to it. Let's start off with, um, well, some of the action from the NBA All Star Weekend. Let's get physical here, boys and girls. Mhm. Okay. Um, Steph Curry wasn't in the 3-point contest on All Star Saturday night, but he still gave everyone another reminder that he is the best shooter the game has ever seen when he came up clutch to take down WNBA star Sabrina Lonescu in a special Steph versus Sabrina competition. Curry said afterwards, for us to deliver a show like that was perfect. As much excitement as you can build in that short amount of time with two great shooters going at it. This is something we'll remember for a long time. Lonescu went first and got off to a perfect start, making every shot on her first rack from the corner and her first 7 shots overall. Though she cooled off a bit toward the end, perhaps because she was shooting from the NBA line, she finished with 26 points. That mark was tied for the best anyone recorded during the 3-point contest and put plenty of pressure on Steph Curry. For a short stretch in the middle of Curry's round, it seemed like that he might be in trouble, especially once he missed both of the long range shots worth 3 points each. He caught fire at the end, however, knocking down 8 of his final 10 shots to finish with 29 points And come on, go down. Put plenty of pressure on Curry. With 29 points and secure the win. There we go. The event's origins date back to last July when Ionescu won the 2023 WNBA three-point contest with 37 points, setting a new record for the most points ever in an NBA or WNBA three-point contest. Later that night, she challenged Curry to a shootout on Twitter. Curry accepted a few days later. Uh, Curry said then, I got to go after Sabrina's record. I've got something to shoot for now that she went crazy with the 37 points in their All-Star weekend. We got to settle that for sure to see who is the best three-point competition shooter. Now, Steph may have some bigger competition from Caitlin Clark. Stay tuned. That might just get interesting. Hello, Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and the MCU. Curry won this round, but if both of them get their wish, this won't be the last time that we'll see an event like this. Regardless of what comes in the future, the two shooting stars have changed their respective leagues forever and have inspired millions in the process. Wait till Caitlin Clark comes in. The NBA is going to be changed big time. Hey, Matt and Nettie, how is ya? All right now, baby, all right now. Okay, let's. It's good. You're doing well. I'm getting a bit more. I'm getting a bit better. Uh, our second NBA story. Let's give it to you. The commish. Adam Silver held his annual All-Star Weekend press conference on Saturday in Indianapolis. As usual, he addressed a wide range of topics, including the league's new 65-game rule for award eligibility, the offensive explosion in recent years, and the relationship between players and referees. A closer look at some of the key takeaways from Silver's comments. Now, as of this season, players must appear in 65 games to be eligible for major honors, such as the MVP and all NBA teams. The new rule has generated plenty of debate, in part because of how it impacts players' contract incentives, most notably the Supermax extension. Players must have won MVP in any of the three previous seasons or have made an all NBA team, first, second, or third, and or one defensive player of the year in the most recent season or two of the three previous seasons to be eligible for that fun thing called a Supermax. With the new threshold, there's a very real scenario where a player will fall short on that by a game or two, get eliminated from all NBA contention, and thereby miss out on tens of millions of dollars, as in buckus. There's already been a push to decouple contract incentives from awards that are determined by the media, and the 65-game rule has only added fuel to that fire. Silver, though, said he's not sure if it's time to do that. The NBA scoring boom has continued this season already. We've seen Joel Embiid and Luka Doncic reach the 70-point mark. The Boston Celtics are on pace to record the highest offensive rating ever, 120.8. And players and coaches around the league routinely complain about how difficult it is to play defense these days. Now, despite the league trending even more towards offense, Silver says he's pleased with the state of the game and noted the league's main objective is to create a competitive environment. Silver did, however, admit that the league will continue discussing the matter internally and with players and coaches to determine if any rule changes regarding defense will come to play. Now, with each passing year, the relationship between players and officials seemed to grow more strained. Already this season, there have been numerous massive fines handed out to players and coaches alike for publicly criticizing the refs. Mike Brown's laptop rant and Anthony Edwards' cheating comments stand out entirely. To that point, Silver said there is a, quote, real willingness on behalf of the officials as well to do better, and stressed that both parties need to communicate better. Now, in 2020, the NBA founded The G League, the NBA. Let's try that again. In 2020, the NBA founded G League Ignite, a developmental program with a team that competes in the G League. To this point, 10 Ignite players have been drafted, including top three picks Jalen Green, Scott Henderson. This season, though, has been a real struggle. They are 2-19, and a number of players have seen their draft stock drop. When the NBA started the Ignite, it gave players a different pathway to professional basketball and an ability to earn money immediately out of high school. Now that NC2A players can generate income through NIL deals, the alternate pathways aren't nearly as enticing. It's no surprise then that Silver admitted the league is reassessing the Ignite program. Quote, I'm not sure what the future of Team Ignite will be because before there was a hole in the marketplace that we thought we were filling. Because before there was a hole in the marketplace we thought we were filling before that, and now my focus is turning to earlier development of those players. He went, end quote. He went on to give a longer answer on how player development needs to change. But we'll just have to wait and see what develops. Okay, let's get you updated on that wonderful thing we call the MMA 2. Yep, MMA UFC 295 live results. Live from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Now, on Saturday night, Alexander Volkanovski will look to move one step closer, touching his name into the record books when he defends his featherweight championship against Ilya Topuria in the main event of UFC 298. A win will give Volkanovski 6 successful title defenses, placing him just one shy of the featherweight record of 7 held by Jose Aldo. Picking up that victory will not be easy, with Topuria entering the octagon as a red-hot and undefeated challenger. Volkanovski will also be looking to bounce back from a brutal knockout against Islam Makhachev in October, a fight Volkanovski took on short notice in an attempt to add the lightweight title to his collection. The co-main event features a pair of longtime top middleweights as former champion Robert Whittaker takes on dangerous former title challenger Paulo Costa. That's going to be very exciting. If you're wondering what I'm doing, so am I. Come on, puppies. No, let's go this way. I know we're doing this live. Give me just a few seconds here. Wow, that was fun. Okay. There we are. Oh, we got a lot to discuss here. Yes. Yes, let's see. Do we have is that part of the Kivaraj Toto coverage? Bushanitsky? Excuse me. Okay, we got about 3 fights left. Let's go and review what has happened on UFC 297, or excuse me, UFC 298. For ladies, Miranda Maverick defeated Andrea Lee via unanimous decision. Judges scorecard 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Second match, Oban Elliott defeated Val Woodburn via unanimous decision. Judges scorecards 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Danny Barlow defeated Josh Quinlan via third-round TKO punches. In the fourth match, Zhang Min Yang defeated Brenson Ribeiro via first-round TKO punches. Our fifth match of the night was Rinya Nakamura defeating Carlos Vieira via unanimous decision. Scorecard 30-27, 30-27, and 30-27. That much fun. Okay, the next match, Marcos Rogerio defeated no, Marcos Rogerio de Lima defeated Junior Tafia via second round TKO kicks and punches. Ooh and ow. There we go. The next one was Amanda Limos defeated Mackenzie Dern via unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. Anthony Hernandez defeated Roman Kopylov via second round submission, a rear naked choke. Mirab Devalshiliv defeated Henry Sejudo via unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. We have Ian Machado Gary versus Jeff Neal for welterweights match. Robert Whitaker versus Paolo Costa for middleweights. And the main event, of course, is Volkanovski versus Topura for the featherweight title. We'll give you, we hopefully will have a full deck for you coming up before the night is over. And we mean before the night is over. I don't think, where's the MMA anyway? Huh. Oh, okay. Let's see. There we are. MMA. Baba boom. Huh. Okay, somehow, somewhere. Oh, I don't think it's. I don't think it's a lewd. Oh, okay. Well, tried to find it. Okay. Let's enjoy, shall we? Okay. That's your MMA action-packed excitement for you. And okay, NASCAR. And Mother Nature must hate auto racing in Daytona. Here's why. Here's why. After an impending massive storm system forced the sport to run its year-opening clash a day early, wet weather's fatal attraction to NASCAR racing has persisted 2 weeks later. And this time, I'm going to shut this off here because there we go. And this time, it poses a major threat to stock car racing's biggest event of all. The 66th running of the Daytona 500 is being threatened by an inclement weather forecast, as the current forecast calls for a high chance of rain all throughout the day on Sunday. The National Weather Service is calling for, here's what the National Weather Service is calling for on Sunday. Quote, the rain could be heavy at times, highs near 61, windy with a north wind 10 to 20 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 90%. New precipitation amounts between 1 and 2 inches possible. Now, the culprit is a massive amount of rain passing over Florida, which has already affected speed weeks this weekend. The ARCA Menard Series race that had been scheduled for early Saturday afternoon was preemptively rescheduled for Friday night. And the NASCAR Xfinity Series race that had been scheduled for Saturday evening was postponed until 11 a.m. on Monday. Rain also forced cancellation of final practice for the Daytona 500 on Saturday morning. Yeah, we will, before we sign off the air, give you a live update on the Daytona weather. The days of what was once referred to as Bill France weather in Daytona are long gone. After the first 53 Daytona 500s were not postponed by rain a single time, the last 12 years have seen rain cause the race to be postponed to Monday twice, That was in 2012 and 2020, and to be pushed to late Sunday night two more times, 2014 and 2021. Should this year's Daytona 500 face a major delay or outright postponement, it would mean 3 out of the last 5 Daytona 500s have been affected by rain. Per the NASCAR rulebook, the Daytona 500 will be considered an official race if it goes past the halfway point at lap 100, meaning that the race would go into the record books and the leader will be declared the winner if rain prevents the race from resuming. Now, if it rains before the halfway point and the race cannot be resumed that day, the remainder of the race will be postponed to the next day. Now, only 4 Daytona 500s in history have been shortened due to rain. Fred Lawrenson won in 65 after the rain stopped the race at 133 miles. Richard Petty took the checkered flag 2 laps short of the scheduled finish at lap 198 due to rain. Michael Waltrip won the shortest Daytona 500 in history after rain stopped the event at 109 laps in 2003. Matt Kenseth won the most recent rain-shortened Daytona 500 in 2009, which was stopped at lap 158. He also won the first ever postponed Daytona 500 in 2012, while Denny Hamlin won the race following a postponement to Monday in 2020. Now, the 2014 Daytona 500 was won by Dale Earnhardt Jr., while Michael McDowell, the outside pole setter for this year's race, won in 2021. So we'll be watching the. In fact, can we? We're going to check the weather. If we can, boys and ghouls. Yes, we can. We're going to do check the weather forecast right now. Let's see. Let's check WESH TV. Check their weather forecast. Boom. Okay, we're going to check the weather forecast from WESH. Let's see here. Need DAYTONA. Okay, can we? Oh, okay. Thank you. Current location. No, I want that changed. Please change. Oh, that zip doesn't appear to be valid. Oh, zip code. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Let's get over here. Get over here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. DAYTONAFLZIP. Okay, this should give us an answer. Okay, wow. 32114. We'll go 32114. 32114. Okay, we're going to change 32114. Okay, 32114. That should be pretty good, shouldn't it? Yes, it should. Okay. Right now, by the way, we got about 35 minutes left. Let's give you the weather forecast for Daytona Beach, Florida, near the Daytona Speedway. Right now, it's 58 degrees, rain tonight, 100% tomorrow. Rain, 61 degrees, 99% precipitation predicted. Tomorrow night, more rain. Oh boy. We're going to view the interactive radar and take a look at how things are going in the fun city of Daytona Beach, Florida. Mainly, we're looking for the Speedway. Oh boy. Mhm. There's Daytona Beach. Okay, we are looking for, well, judging from the oh boy, right now, oh boy, right now as we take a look at the radar from Wesh TV, oh God, it is not looking good as we uh, see if we got any bright spots. No, we don't. Not even the villages. I mean, the villages. It's Walt Disney World for uh, elderly folk. Yep, the funnest place in the world is not Disney World. It is the villages. And right now, uh, it is just ugly, and there is no relief. So I just have this feeling that the race might just be pulled. Okay, we will, like I said, we're going to update and see if the powers that be doot, 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 boop. Let's see what the situation is from the good old folk at NASCAR. And it is still scheduled for 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but on Fox. But personally, after looking at the radar and the maps for the weekend, it's not looking good. It is definitely not looking good at all. And that is, uh, if you'll excuse the expression, that is the truth. It is just not looking great for the race. Okay, now that we've done all the news bit, let's get to some live scores. We're at 3 minutes past the midnight hour, and we are right now headed. Let's go to hockey first. To for uh, Dandelion Fluff. Let's get to the NHL. Let's get to the games that are already in progress. The Vancouver Canucks and the Winnipeg Jets are tied at 2. In the second period, it is the Columbus Blue Jackets by 1 over the San Jose Sharks, 3-2. Also in the second period, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricane are tied at 1. Are those all the games we got? Uh, Hang on. There we go. We go with what we got. And I wish I knew what that was. Here we go. Uh-huh. Wow. Okay, come on, people. We got to have some hockey. And they're continuing the All-Star things. Yeah, let's. You want to do? Okay. No basketball games today for the men, but the and or the women. You're kidding. No, they had to have games. Oh, forgive me, I had the wrong button. There we go. Now we're cooking on gas. Let's treat you to the men's basketball, and everything is final. Let's go to it. Alabama beat Texas A&M 175. Iowa State over Texas Tech 82-74. Virginia over Wake Forest 49-47. Creighton over Butler 79-57. Houston over Texas 82-61. Dayton over Fordham 78-70. Oklahoma State over BYU 93-83. Duke over Florida State 76-67. North Carolina over Virginia Tech 96-81. Iowa over Wisconsin in overtime 88-86. UConn over Marquette 81-53. LSU over South Carolina 64-63. Kansas by 10 over Oklahoma 67-57. Illinois over Maryland 85-80. Tennessee over Vanderbilt 88-53. Kentucky over Auburn 70-59. And Baylor over West Virginia 94-81. And finally, Southern Illinois defeated Indiana State 74-69. And one more, Arizona defeated Arizona State by a score of 105-60. For the women, ladies, not bad. Cleveland State over Milwaukee 64-51. Kent State over Central Michigan 77-54. Northern Illinois beat Eastern Michigan 61-52. FIU over LA Tech 68-51. Miami of Ohio over Western Michigan 58-50. Ball State over Ohio 75-60. Canisius over Siena 71-64. Southern Mississippi over Texas State 68-58. VCU, what's going to happen at VCU? Over UMass 63-49. Rhode Island over Davidson 61-49. West Virginia, Mountain Mamas take me home. Country Road beat Oklahoma 70-66 and a half a bar. Alabama A&M over Mississippi Valley State 64-51. Army over Holy Cross 58-43. Seton Hall over DePaul 91-78. Southern Illinois over Indiana State 80-70. Another overtime winner, North Carolina Central over Howard 70-64. Green Bay over Youngstown State 71-59. Akron over Buffalo 65-54. Appalachian State over Georgia State 93-67. Chattanooga over ETSU 56-41. Jacksonville over North Florida 73-60. James Madison over Coastal Carolina 73-60. Liberty over Sam Houston 86-56. Manhattan in overtime defeated Quinnipiac 72-66. Fairfield over Mount St. Mary 61-59. UNCG over Mercer 69-49. Niagara over Marist, who I think was once married to Frazier's brother, Marist. Get the joke, folks. Okay. The final score was 90-64. Wisconsin beat Rutgers 61-43. Iona over St. Peter's 54-35. Sacred Heart over Wagner 79-55. FGCU an 86-60 winner over Queens. Binghamton over New Jersey Tech 68-48. Stetson Fitz over Kennesaw State 64-54. Bryant over UMass Lowell 62-43. Merrimack over LIU 61-59. Lemoyne over Stonehill 55-44. Southern Indiana University over Little Rock 88-51. Stephen F. Austin over Abilene Christian 89-83. Eastern Illinois over Lindenwood 68-62. Georgia Southern over South Alabama 85-70. UT Martin over Morehead State 70-54. Tennessee State over Western Illinois 84-71. There we go. Southeast Missouri State over SIUE 67-57. Central Arkansas over Eastern Kentucky 83-49. North Dakota State over Denver 86-65. Oral Roberts over North Dakota 102-57. Marshall over Old Dominion 89-75. Memphis over East Carolina 72-70. UNC Ashland over Charleston Southern 68-63. High Point over Radford, 67-50. SC Upstate over Gardner-Webb, 73-56. Presbyterian over Longwood, 67-52. UAB over Rice, 87-74. Alcorn State over Bethune-Cook, 51-40. Coppin State over Delaware State, 53-46. TCU over Cincinnati, 79-72. Nicholls State over McNeese State, 81-67. Norfolk State over SC State, 87-25. Southeast Louisiana over Houston Christian, 60-40. Texas A&M CC over Texas A&M Community, 86-69, a workable number again. Lafayette, we were here and beat American, 64-57. Colorado State over Wyoming, 75-70. Minnesota over Northwestern, 88-63. Louisiana over Arkansas State, 59-46. UT Arlington over UT Rio Grande Valley, 71-55. Troy over University of Louisiana Monroe, 81-77. Austin P over Lipscomb, 73-60. South Dakota State over Nebraska Omaha, 79-57. Middle Tennessee over UTEP, 56-41. Wichita State over Tulsa, 74-65. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 70. Alabama State, 47. George Mason over George Washington, 60-57. Lamar over New Orleans, 63-60. Incarnate Word over Northwestern State, 53-45. San Diego State over Utah, 90-62. Northern Iowa over Murray State, 89-87. Missouri State over Evansville, 73-56. Illinois Chicago over Bradley, 68-47. FDU over St. Francis, Pennsylvania, 68-48. Boston U over Navy, 69-60. Nebraska over Purdue, 77-65. Maine over Vermont, 57-55. North Kentucky over Wright State, 77-63. Idaho over Idaho State, 49-48. Montana over Montana State, 72-50. New Mexico State over Western Kentucky, 64-61. Northern Arizona over Portland State, 89-73. North Colorado over Sacramento State, 65-59. East Washington over Weber State, 74-54. In two overtimes, Southern Utah beat Utah Valley, 67-66. Utah Tech over Seattle, 89-75. Cal Baptist over Grand Canyon, 71-65. Dartmouth over Cornell, 48-44. Texas over Iowa State, 81-60. Grambling over Texas Southern, 60-55. In overtime, Nevada beat Boise State, 68-65. Another overtime game. Southern University over Prairie View, 75-68. Butler over Villanova, 55-52. Jackson State over Florida A&M, 71-44. Gonzaga over Pacific, 91-78. Santa Clara over Portland, 66-58. San Diego over LMU, 60-50. UC Irvine over Cal Baker, 72-68. UC Riverside over UC Davis, 50-41. Brown, see what Brown can do for you. Well, they beat Penn, 61-59. Kansas State over UCF, 60-58. Houston over Oklahoma State, 65-57. Fresno State over San Jose State, by a score of 74-59. Illinois State versus Valparaiso, 78-64. Drake over Belmont, 77-71. Toledo over Bowling Green, 88-68. North Alabama over Bellarmine, 88-60. CS Fullerton over UC San Diego, 60-46. Cal State Northridge, a loser to Long Beach State, 86-62. Colgate over Bucknell, 59-55. Richmond over Loyola of Chicago, 75-71. Princeton over Yale by a score of 70-25. Kansas over BYU, 70-62. Samford over West Carolina, 72-57. Albany over UMBC by a full-fledged total of 58-56. South Dakota over St. Thomas, Minnesota, 75-61. FAU over South Florida, 67-55. Duquesne over St. Louis, 82-65. St. Mary over Pepperdine, 75-47. Air Force over UNLV over Air Force, 95-68. And Maryland, East Shore, and Morgan State were postponed. In round 3 of the Genesis Invitational Golf Tournament, Patrick Cantlay continues to be the hot golfer of the weekend. He leads Xander Schauffele and Will Zalatoris by 2 strokes. Cantlay has at 14 under. Schauffele and Zalatoris is at 12 under. Luke List is in 4th at 11 under. And Harris English is among those tied in 5th at 10 under. Okay, let's update you on the games that are still going on in the National Hockey League. 12:50 left to play in regulation. Jets Canucks tied at 2. 41 seconds before they hit the second intermission. Blue Jackets and the Sharks are tied at 3. And at second intermission, Hurricanes and the Golden Knights are tied at 1. Everything else, Kings beat the Bruins 5-4. In overtime, Oilers over the Stars 4-3. Blackhawks over the Senators 3-2. Red Wings over the Flames 5-0. Sabres over the Wild 3-2. Predators over the Blues 5-2. Panthers over the Lightning 9-2. Capitals over the Canadiens 4-3. Maple Leafs decimated the once mighty Ducks 9-2. And the Devils beat the Flyers 6-3 in Premier League action. And I know we got some other scores for you, but we're going to get to these and then we'll get the rest. In Premier League action, it was Liverpool over Brentford 4-1. Bournemouth and Newcastle United tied at 2. Wolverhampton and Tottenham Hotspur 2-1. Nottingham Forest beat West Ham United 2-0. Aston Villa over Fulham 2-1. Arsenal blanked Burnley 5-0. And Manchester City, in the game you saw on NBC, defeated. They're actually tied. Manchester City tied with Chelsea at 1. And right now, taking a look at the Premier League table at this hour, at this moment, the top 5, or actually the top 4, Liverpool at 57 points, Arsenal at 55 points, Manchester City at 53, Aston Villa with 49, Tottenham Hotspur with 47. The top 4, of course, as we all know, go to the Champions League. The 5th place goes to the Europa League, and the last 3 go into regulation, which means they join a lower league. And let's see, Manchester United will just, okay, so you got the top 5 right there, top 4. You get the idea. Let's give you the bottom 3, the bottom feeders, as we like to call them. Everton has 19 points. They're battling Luton Town to get out of the regulation bottom barrel. Barnsley trying to do the same thing. They have 13, as does Sheffield United, also with 13 points. There are some big games tomorrow. You can catch them on USA, of course, NBC, or Peacock, one or the other. Both or all tray. Let's get you back for more football action from today, Saturday. In La Liga, hi there. In La Liga, Atletico Madrid blanked La Palmas 5-0. Osasuna defeated Cadiz 2-0. Barcelona over Celta Vigo 2-1, and Valencia and Sevilla tied at goose eggs. We're going to do our best to give you at least some of the scores. In the championship soccer or championship football in England, Leeds United over Plymouth Argyle 2-0. Birmingham City over Sunderland 2-1. Queen's Park Rangers over Bristol City 1-0. Hull City over Huddersfield Town 2-1. Middlesbrough over Leicester City 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday over Millwall 2-0. Norwich City over Cardiff City 4-1. Preston North End and Blackburn Rovers played to a 2-2 tie. Watford over Rotherham United 1-0. Coventry City over Stoke City 1-0. And Ipswich Town over Swansea City 2-1. And I think we're going to end the soccer bit right there, because we've got about maybe 15 minutes left of the broadcast. So let's get back to the hockey and get to some things that our good friend Dandelion Fluff will be interested in. And for us to do that, we go over to Saturday and not to Sunday, which is where we're at this moment on Sunday. So give us a moment. In the Ontario Hockey League, Mississauga Steelheads over the Kingston Frontenacs 4-2. Oshawa Generals over the Erie Otters 2-1. Flint Firebirds got pooped on. No, let's try again. Flint Firebirds poop on the Windsor Spitfires in overtime 3-2. London Knights over the Owen Sound Attack 5-2. Oh boy. Where's Kleenexes? Crud. Oh, Lord, I knew that. Phew. Bless me. London Knights over the Owen Sound Attack 5-2. Ottawa 67s over the Barrie Colts 4-3. In the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, Chicoutimi Sanguine beat the Rimouski Oceanic 5-4. Charlottetown Islanders over the Blainville Boys-Bouillon Armada 4-2. Gatineau Olympique over St. John Sea Dogs 5-4. Rouyn Noranda Huskies over the Quebec Ramparts 6-2. In the WHL, Prince Albert Raiders over the Lethbridge Hurricane 4-3. Calgary Hitmen over the Moose Jaw Warriors 5-3. Swift Current Broncos over the Regina Pats 6-2. Edmonton Oil Kings over the Red Deer Rebels 3-1. Kamloops Blazers over the Prince George Cougars 2-1. Saskatoon Blades over the Medicine Hat Tigers 4-3. Portland Winterhawks over the Vancouver Giants 8-3. Seattle Thunderbirds over Everett Silvertips 4-3. Spokane Chiefs over the Tri-City Americans 6-4. And Victoria Royals over the Kelowna Rockets 3-2. Let's see if we have the AHL scoreboard, and we do. And here we go. AHL scoreboard. Milwaukee Admirals over the Manitoba Moose 4-0. Springfield Thunderbirds, as I pick up another. Springfield Thunderbirds over the Charlotte Checkers 2-1. Hershey Bears over the Toronto Marlies 3-2. Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins over the Laval Rockets 6-3. Hartford Wolfpack over the Bridgeport Islanders 2-1. Utica Comets lose in a tight one to the Belleville Senators 3-2. Syracuse Crunch over the Lehigh Valley Phantoms 2-1. Chicago Wolves over the Cleveland Monsters by a score of 4-3. Grand Rapids Griffins back on the winning side, beat the Rockford Ice Hogs 3-2. Texas Stars over the Iowa Wild 3-2. Colorado Eagles over the Coachella Valley Firebirds 5-2. Henderson Silver Knights over the San Diego Gulls 2-1. Tucson Roadrunners over the Ontario Reign 3-2. In the third period, Calgary Wranglers have really given the Abbotsford Canucks a little canoodling. They lead 2-0. And the San Jose Barracuda lead the Bakersfield Condors. In both games, by the way, are in the third period. San Jose 6, Bakersfield Condors 2. Is there a way possible you might be able to grab the Kleenexes? I'm going to find out. Yeah. Okay. There we are. Yeah, you saw my frontage. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. There we go. Okay, with our remaining time, by the way, that's it in little Sportissimo. Let's Dominic Mysterio is headed to the WWE Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia, despite the qualifier match loss on SmackDown. George Soros, his former co-founder, sounds economic alarm, saying the next problem has to be the worst in my lifetime. Rory McIlroy has been given a death stare by Genesis Invitational rival after breaking golf etiquette rules. Shocking. Major League Baseball's new uniforms are driving complaints from players as Major League Baseball Players Association gets involved, per a report. Hulu Sports is rumored as the name for the sports streaming joint venture between Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers Discovery. However, I have a name for it. It's called Dead. Let's see. Let's see. Tony Khan spotted with Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy at a Fulham Premier League game. Yay. CW's new bosses bet on linear. We're not in the SVOD business. And the next 49er, a $137 million star, is in hot water after this season. Oi. Charlie Cook announced impending Cumulus departure. Jerry Reinsdorf prepared to ask for $1 billion in public money for the new stadium to house his Chicago White Sox. Let's see what else here. Detroit Tigers infielder details health problems of the last 2 years, says he's feeling much better now. Entering 2024, we shall see. Flyers coach John Tortorella blasts NHL's cultural shift. It's a dumb league, as he said. Calibrate your Samsung TV or monitor like a pro using your phone's camera. Wow. Pirates signed Chase Anderson to a minor league deal. Penn Entertainment stock, as we told you, took a hit after ESPN Bet launch, and they have lost $334 million. Bears legend Steve McMichael is undergoing a blood transfusion. And Dylan Cease discusses his trade candidacy. Meanwhile, the Red Sox trade for a promising young arm in Sandlin. 3 Detroit Lions who can safely be called bust after the 2023 season. We'll have more on that. Warner Brothers, not the CW, ended Superman and Lois due to concerns it would compete with Superman Legacy. Boo. See if we got any more. Nope, we don't. Let's get upon the other little news breakers. We've got about 5 minutes before we have to say our goodnight, so let's go here. NFL star Joey Bosa, a major career change with the Los Angeles Chargers star, set to take on the world. There we go. Set to take world champion in new sport. That's right, on Monday, February 26th. LA Charger linebacker Joey Bosa will compete against world champion competitive eater Joey Chestnut in the second annual Pistachios Eating Championship. Ooh. The event will occur during and commemorate World Pistachio Day. It will be held at Pacific Park on the Santa Monica Pier in California. Bosa's entry in the competition signifies the first ever active NFL player competing against major league eaters. In the event, competitors will have 8 minutes to crack open and eat as many wonderful pistachios, the sponsor for the special, for a championship title and $10,000 in total cash and prizes. First place brings home $5,000, with second and third receiving $2,500 and $1,250, respectively. In the competition's inaugural year, competitive eater Nick Wahey claimed gold after eating a world record 188 pistachios. Ooh. Chestnut, the number 1 ranked competitive eater, didn't even finish in the top 3. Behind the now number 4 ranked Wahey was number 15 Adrian Morgan at 176 pistachios devoured, and top female eater Mika Sudo in third with 173. Don't forget, of course, the Hot Dog Eating Championship, sponsored by and hosted by Nathan's, July 4th. Gotta say that. Kelly Rowland walked off the Today Show as a guest host because the dressing rooms weren't up to par. Oh, gee whiz. Michigan just became the first state in 6 decades to scrap a anti-union law. The Oakland Ballers will build a new historic stadium for their inaugural 2024 season. Let's see here. I think we got half of the rest of the stuff done. Yeah, I think we do. I think it's all. Yep, we've done it. We have completely given you the best in sports and entertainment, best updates and everything else. And it is time now to say our au revoirs for the night. We thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. We will see you tomorrow night, midnight Eastern time. Hey, Phil, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Heroes on the Half Shell, Bill Power. You have joined us as we are about to say arrivederci, shalom. And I'm about to hit the sack. But be with us tomorrow night, midnight Eastern time. We'll tell you who won the All-Star game of the NBA. Get you caught up on hockey. Get you caught up on soccer and any other sports that we can bring you scores and no highlights. That is going to wrap it up. Oh, is it ever? And I'm getting a little dizzy. So I'm going to finish up the cherries. That's dessert. And I'm going to hit the sack because I got church tomorrow at 11:30. Then I got laundry to do at about 3 o'clock. So there's my day. Hope your day is great. Midnight Eastern time for our little broadcast. And until then, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. And until we meet again, somewhere out there, there is reason. Somewhere out there, there is hope. And somewhere out there is someone looking for the right path. And that right path is togetherness and joy. However you slice it, it's a good path to take. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great one. Shalom. Good night. This has been a presentation of Mr. Fine Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network. And we're back tomorrow at midnight. Midnight at the Oasis. Night all.